Hello, welcome back. It is a beautiful day here in the Nomifactory, and as you can see, we got a lot of different things. First things first, couple more travel anchors. I gotta color them or whatever. But we also set up this beautiful little system over here. I built this beautiful room over on the side for our distillation area. Now, again, a lot of this was repeated from stuff we did before, so I didn't, focus on it too much. But we have a fluid drilling rig, which is getting us raw oil, right? Liquid fast pace from HV level. So that is getting us oil. It is infinite in the void, so we are good to go on that end. And it tucks in quite nicely. I can add in more if I need to, or maybe we'll just make them into fountains. Who knows? I could see this being a pretty fountain, hiding underwater, something like that. Anyways, and then equally, we just moved our distillation towers from the other areas. So this one is for our raw oil. As you can see, we are starting to back up on some resources, to say the least. And this one here is for our fermented biomass, same as before. The other thing that is different is automatic maintenance hatches. Yeah, I finally did it. As you can see, I've upgraded all of our EBFs to be automatic as well. And our vacuum freezers. I'm just done with that whole thing, to be honest. So, great little upgrade, a little bit expensive, but at our level, no big deal at all. Also on that note, we've kind of been slowly but surely adding in the liquids and adjusting our levels of liquids as well. So, I believe I've added a whole nother drive. Yeah, look at this. We got all the sulfuric gas, fermented biomass, carbon dioxide, methane, chloroform, monochloramine, dithylamine, 1.1 dithylhydrazine, and rocket fuel. Okay, so basically the whole process that is into the microverse, we have now set up again in our new base. I decided to not show this all to you guys because we've done it once before. We did it again. It won't be that hard to explain. I did make a 64K, which is nice, just to kind of get that off of our plate. I definitely want the wireless AE2 here shortly. And then we also did nitrogen dioxide. We got nitric acid, ethanone. Again, not very complicated. Acetic acid with sulfuric. Just kind of, and then tetranitromethane, which is the nitric acid and ethanone. That's pretty cool, right? Awesome. Little steps, right? Getting all these fluids done is really going to save us a lot of time in the long run. We are full, though, on our sulfuric naphtha, and that is a problem. We do not have extra space for that either. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we are probably backed up. Yeah, to say the least. So I'm not voiding that or anything like that. So let's actually put in a process. Look at how clean this is. Level emitters and everything. Oh, it's so beautiful. And yeah, again, this is all the same stuff. We're lacking in ammonia and we're lacking in chlorine for the most part at this point in time. We're also lacking in oxygen still in the system throughout, but we're slowly starting to catch up on that front. So anyways, let's throw down another 3 of these guys. I really need to make more fluid emitters, apparently. We'll put the machine controls. Same kind of thing. I'm going to be using level emitters on these at all times. So, just deal with it. It's the best way to do this. Hands down. All right. Boom, boom, boom. And then like so. Same old, nothing too crazy here. But we need to make naphtha, right? Which is sulfuric naphtha into naphtha. Now, Naphtha itself, I don't know that we really need all that much. I mean, we can get raw gasoline with it. Don't get me wrong. That's fine. We can crack it into other things. I don't think we need to worry about that right now. But yeah, it doesn't, I mean, we can use it in combustion generators. So maybe that's just a way to, you know, burn through some liquid, right? But yeah, sadly, it's not one of the ones that I'm really concerned about at this point in time. The one that I really want is actually part of the quest book, which is diesel. So yeah, naphtha can get you gasoline, right? And high octane gasoline, which we will need eventually, but not really required at the moment. The one that I really want here is diesel, which is a mixture of light and heavy fuel. So we're going to create all three of these pretty much at the same time here, and very easily. So naphtha is going to be hydrogen, excellent, and sulfuric naphtha. Pretty straightforward. We'll throw those in there like so. This guy here, same thing, but this is going to be, I believe it's the same actually. It's hydrogen, and then light fuel is sulfuric light fuel. So we're just basically hydrogen cracking these in the chemical reactor is the way that I understand it. So again, same thing, hydrogen with heavy fuel. Okay, so that's going to get us what we need for all of these items. Let's just configure those accordingly. And let's see, I think we get hydrogen, which we're also lacking in, by the way, still. It amazes me that we're still out of hydrogen, but that's okay. And then we need to set our inputs as well. So this one here is strictly an export mode. As you can see, we have all of these full, so there's no input space. This is both import and export, but I think what I'm going to do is let's grab another fluid interface, like so. Good. And let's get ourselves a couple of emitters as well. We need 3 of them. Excellent. Good. We can put our coins away. That's nice. And I think what I'm going to do is it's time to just kind of go down the line here. So we're going to add this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to change this to be that and this to be export only, right? So again, now we got 2 that are exporting fluids versus 1 input for all of these machines. Okay, so on this front, we need sulfuric naphtha, we need sulfuric light fuel, and we need, did I put in the right thing over here? I don't know that I did. No, I put in heavy fuel. Heavy fuel requires sulfuric heavy fuel. There we go. And we'll add that into here as well. All right. Good stuff. So that should power up all 3 of these things quite nicely and start getting us the resources. Well, there's our next problem. I have not made the fluid cells for these. So let's get ourselves some 4Ks times 3. Our lapis is probably about to just fall off a cliff here, to say the least. So let's just see. We should be very close. I don't think I've made any, right? No. Okay, good. So that guy in there, that's going to be our naphtha. That guy in there, that will be our light fuel. And that guy in there will be our heavy fuel. Okay, good stuff. We'll just add these into our system, and that should open up all the doors to everything that we need. And then from there, we have to convert it. So we have some heavy fuel. That's silicone rubber, diluted deuterium, and light fuel right there. Okay, perfect. I swear I had naphtha in here, though. I'm thinking that I just doubled up on something. I gotta take a look. There's way too many to look through. I guess I could probably look in a different location? I don't think I did then. Okay. Did we not have... Oh, I remember what I did. I have a naphtha down here, don't I? Right there. Yeah. Let's take that guy out of here. And we'll go load all of these now into our ME system, as we do for everything. So, pretty good. And then I'll set up the level emitters, all that fun stuff as well. But should be pretty easy and pretty quick. There goes our heavy fuel. That was fast. We don't have much, so yeah, it goes pretty darn quick when you only have 60k of something, to say the least. So, and this guy, we got a little bit more of, but yeah, it should still go pretty fast. So, all of our liquids should be good now. We got rid of 3 more tanks, which is amazing. Let's throw that in there. And that should open up all of our distillation. Yes, indeed. We are distilling again. That is great. We are open. Raw oil, fermented biomass. Excellent. No more clogs in the system. Again, what I'm doing here with the fluid interfaces, you could do it every set, and then you probably would avoid any potential clogging, right, that we just experienced. So, you know, it might not be a bad idea to do input and output specific items, right? Just as a tip for your own playthrough as you go. All right, good. This guy here is naphtha, so let's throw in the naphtha. We did a 4K, so that's a 32,500, 32,500,000, etc. I might disable this. I might actually take this off down the road because we might need to void this one. I believe the amount of sulfuric naphtha that we're getting, yeah, well, no, okay, it's raw oil. So let's find raw oil. Okay, so raw oil, the sulfuric naphtha, we're getting 3 times the amount of light fuel. So that's a concern, right? We really need to figure out a way to kind of control that. This guy here is our light fuel, all right? And one of the things that we're definitely struggling in right now is the fact that we're about to be way down on our hydrogen production. It's not even funny. And then we have heavy fuel, 32,500, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Those are kind of just the numbers that I've come up with in our system to regulate our stuff. But yeah, this is going to burn through our hydrogen like no tomorrow. That is a major concern, to say the least. What are we? Oh, ethanol. Yeah. Biomass is starting to build up as well, which is good. That's nice to see. But anyways, good little step into the fuels, which is nice. And then ultimately, just like we have here, I think the diesel is in a mixer. So let's go grab a mixer and progress on to getting some diesel. And on this note, I absolutely love AE2. In this pack, having all this stuff set up for auto crafting is absolutely phenomenal. We will go with just another one of those and probably another emitter. Yeah, good. All right, fluid, good. And the mixer, is that all I need? I think that's all I need. All right, I'm going to go set this up to make the diesel as well. Pretty straightforward. Rinse and repeat, same as the other stuff. Alrighty, diesel bucket, quest completed, progression, let's go. That is so awesome. Alright, so diesel's great. Now we need to make cetane boosted diesel. Mixing diesel, or less efficiently biodiesel, with tetranitromethane in an HV mixer. Okay. Another mixer setup. That's good to see. This should be pretty easy as well. I had to grab a bucket of it because, you know, quest rewards and such. but this is just another of the same, which should be really, really basic and easy for us to do. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat exactly what I just did again for the next step here. Another emitter, etc., etc. All right. Lots to do, so little time. Let's get our fluid cell. I've definitely determined that the 4Ks seem to be a nice balance for the amount of fluid that we have at the moment. I think it's a good idea to kind of stick with 4Ks to begin with here with level emitters, because it's 32,500,000 is a pretty big number, in case you didn't know. Simply put. So yeah, it's just one of those little details. How am I out of conduits? Holy crikey. No. There we go. I've done that so many times with that wrench. It's ridiculous. Ender fluid. There we go. Excellent. I have so many. It's not even funny. From tearing down the old base and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, all in due time. So anyways, same old. We're going to basically cetine basted mixer. We're going to have diesel and tetra blah, blah, blah. I'm not a certified chemist. All right. I'm not going to say these things correctly. It's just not going to happen. All right. Just take it for what it's worth. All right. No big deal. All right. Let's put the cetine boosted 32,500, 1, 2, 3. That's good. And that should be connected up nicely. We can do this. That's good. And then we need to set, sadly, we're already on this one. So this is going to be diesel. And I don't think I have the tetra already. Let's double check. I guess I could just go over and check the machine. I don't think so, because we made it specifically for this use. So there we go. Awesome. This should be our high octane or cetane boosted diesel product. Very nice. Okay. So with that, we got a couple of quest completes, to say the least. I don't know where the other one was. I think that was it. Okay. I think that was it. Let's see. Good. Cetane boosted diesel. Excellent. From there, it's Epichlorohydrin, I think. Because this is like a subset, right? So this guy here is done with glycerol and hypochloric acid. And glycerol is what? I think this requires... Is it only seed oils? Fish oil. Okay, I do have fish oil. But this tiny pile of sodium is just terrible. Why did I make the diesel if I don't need the diesel? Okay, cetine boosted diesel. Let's click on that. Blazing pyrotheum gets us dragon breath. Why did I make all that? That was a waste of time. For this, I need to do this to get glycerol, which is biodiesel. Well, what the what? Why did I go through all that effort to do all this for no gain? I guess that's fine. What can we actually use this for then? I mean, combustion, right? Like we talked about. I don't really know what these generators require. Combustion fuels. Is it just... You just do some combustion? That's cool. I mean, maybe we can look into that. Or, I mean, dragon's breath, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we'll need it for hot draconium, so that's fine. But yeah, we definitely don't need nearly as much as we got. It sounds about right. Sounds about right. Good job, Nomi. Love you. All right. Well, let's see if we can't work our way through some glycerol here. I do have fish oil made. So the big question is, okay, here's our fish oil. It burns through a lot of fish oil, to say the least. Are we better off going with ethanol or methanol in our system? I think either way, you get the same amount of stuff. You get a lot of biodiesel, though. And this does take the full... Oh, that's in the large one. I really don't want to make a large chemical reactor, but I also don't want to make a packager to make tiny sodium hydroxide dust. I could potentially use a... I kind of lack the inputs to do like a crafting recipe on an input. But yeah, it seems to be about the same. I guess let's just take a look at our levels here for methanol and the like. I mean, fish oil is good. We have methanol. We're probably better off going with ethanol at this point in time. But that could hit our biomass over time. So that's a thing. I don't really know what I'm going to do with the biodiesel either, right? In this process, you get a whole bunch of biodiesel, which is kind of the same boat of like, why do we get this cetine boosted diesel? I assume it's a good burnable. We might just need to burn off all these liquids and fuels. It seems a little bit of a waste or extra as well. So anyways, let me get what I need going here, because I have a feeling we might run out of lapis before we finish this endeavor. We are very close to it. So yeah, it could very well be a thing. I think we only need the one emitter, though. We might be okay overall. Alrighty, a quick little insert on brown, and we should be getting ourselves the glycerol and biodiesel. So let's jump up here. This is a little bit easier to grab stuff. Let's grab a bucket of that and a bucket of biodiesel just to complete those quests. Perfect. We'll just jump back down here and drop them off in the system. Okay, good. Another quest completed for the glycerol. That's awesome to see. We'll come back and do those ones a little bit later on if we ever need to. But that is done for now. A quick note on this. So, one chemical reactor producing 2 goods. How am I level emitting, right? Well, I'm going to emit to the one that I want, and that's glycerol, right? So when glycerol maxes out, this will stop. But what does that mean? That means my biodiesel could overflow, right? Just like our naphtha, just like our heavy fuel, all of that type of stuff could all overflow at this point in time. We do have a bit of time before we get there, for sure. But as you can see, naphtha is already there. We're never full on light fuel. I think light is, yeah, always getting maxed out. Okay, so naphtha definitely has the capabilities of going over. We'll probably set up similar to what I did for the water and air downstairs, just an overflow for some of these items like biodiesel, naphtha, and potentially heavy fuel. I'll have to take a look at that. Diesel, we're okay to stopping. Cetine boosted will stop as well. So those two might be the stopgap that hold up the others, right? But we'll see how that goes overall. We might be okay to just let it ride for a little bit. We might be okay. So that's one of those things that I kind of like leave it for a day and see where we're at. You know, leave it for a couple of days, see where we're at. Last but not least is the epichlorium before we get into epoxy. Now, why am I going this route? I mean, I could easily jump in over here, get our micro miners up and running, stuff like that. This is twofold. First of all, I haven't built the area for the micro miners. And second of all, I think getting epoxy is just a major milestone to kind of accomplish. It's a big item here, and this is just going to help us progress into this area anyways. So we're going to need this eventually, no matter what, right? Kind of the same thing, like we'll need all of this eventually, right? So I'm just trying to work my way. I felt like we were lacking on the right side versus some of this other production as we rushed, you know, tungsten and things like that in the past. So, because we wanted to get that angel ring, right? So let's get to it. I'm going to, I think, just prepare hydrochloric. Pretty easy. We can do that very easily. So glycerol with hydrochloric acid. I'm going to just power through a little bit here. I'm going to set up some of these systems and we will get this ready to go. All right. After a little bit of a review, we got that one. Epoxy production requires phenol. I don't think we can get anything at the moment otherwise. And yeah, ultimately, I'm not willing to kind of go down that rabbit hole here today. So, you know, to get all of that done, charcoal byproducts, etc. Not really worth it in my books. So we'll probably tackle that the next day. I don't know. It's one of those little details, right? This thing basically is what I need to do. So we need to get all of this good stuff from charcoal byproducts, right? So ultimately you do this, you get that from the pyrolyse, which, you know, again, this is another thing where, my wood farm is manual at the moment. Not the best option. And then from there we can get all of the different items from it, right? So little details like that, but yeah, we'll need to make another distillation tower. We'll need to make the pyrolyse oven, all of that type of stuff as well, that just leads to more and more and more and more, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and then from there as well, I think you can even, you can wood gas into ethylene, methane, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, probably what we'll do, or you distill it again. So that would be a second distillery. This one actually would be pretty good. So that's 2 distilleries. What else can we do with this? Wood vinegar. I think this is a 3rd distillery. Yeah, we don't have methyl acetate, but everything else we do. So that's a 3rd distillery. That's a lot of good information right there. Charcoal byproducts, wood tar as well. I think that gets you toluene, creosote oil, phenol, and benzene. Yeah, so that's a lot of different new things too. So that's what, 4? Is it 4 distillation towers required? 1. And then 1, 2, 3, and what's this guy? I think that's just a store at the moment. So, yeah, that's like 4 distillery towers and a pyro oven required for next episode. Just for epoxy. Well, I mean, not all that's just for epoxy, but that's a great start for epoxy, I must say. Other than that, the other item that I wouldn't mind doing is actually liquid air, right? I think liquid air, we can get argon, helium, nitrogen, more oxygen, and carbon dioxide, which I think we have all of these, which I know we do. And then we get helium and argon. And argon is just another resource for that we'll need down the way. So that might be a good idea. And helium, I think you can make liquid helium. There's a few other things that you need this for as well, to say the least. You can get helium-3 as well, which is kind of cool. Liquid helium leads to terranium. Yeah, a whole bunch of different stuff. The samarium, I should say, which we were getting that dust before. Naquita, some of those next level things. So these are two things that we definitely want to start distilling. So that would be our 5th distillation tower. Woo, that's a doozy, to say the least. Equally, that brings into question a couple of other issues, and we might have overflow of nitrogen at some point in time. Things like that as well that we'll have to consider all in due time. And then we have ender air, we have nether air, we have silicone rubber. Oh, there's so much still to do. The PTFE, tetrafluoroethylene. I swear I had... Do I not have tetrafluoroethylene? That's not right. Hello? Tetra? Nope. I have the other one. All right. Well, anyways, I think that's going to be it for today. We did a lot. We accomplished a lot. I know it was a lot of like just grinding in this realm and getting things done here. My ammonia is real low, and chlorine, hydrogen, yeah, oxygen. Yeah, all the above. So, okay. Anyways, little details like that, but we're slowly but surely getting there. We'll get all these things all in due time. No big deal. The biodiesel, diesel, all that type of stuff is going to be the interesting one. I'll have to keep my eye on. So, catch you all next time. Bye-bye.